After the Bell. We are here joined by actress Navia Robinson.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Oh, we're so excited to have you on the show. People have been asking for you, so we have finally delivered. Here's
Yes!
I'm excited.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We're really excited because Taylor and I grew up watching That's So Raven.
Right.
So it's really cool that you are on this spin-off show, Raven's Home. And I want to talk a little bit about your character and how you got this role.
Yeah, it was a really long process, first of all. I started off by doing an audition in Atlanta, which is actually where I live, and we travel back and forth between Atlanta and LA since getting this. So yeah, I did an audition in Atlanta, and then from there I got a call back. I did a screen type thing. I did a videotape is what you call it, and then I sent it into LA. From there, I got called out to do a screen test. I did a couple, and then from there I did chemistry reads with other characters, and I found out I got it. It was really cool.
Did you do a read with Raven or Chelsea before getting the part?
Yeah, I did a read with pretty much every
Everyone,
character. I did a read with Raven and Chelsea, and then they were casting Booker and Tess and Levi, and then I did a read with everyone who they were thinking about casting. Not everyone, because it was thousands, but those who they'd narrowed down and decided who they were casting.
It was you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And you said, we were talking a little earlier, and you come from a big family. You have 4 older brothers.
Yes.
Do you think that played some sort of part in this role for
Oh
you?
yeah, for sure. My 2 older brothers who are 30 and 26, they love That's So Raven, and so when they found out I was doing this, they were so excited, like over the moon. And one of them has actually already met Raven and Annalisa, so that was super cool for them. And they were just so happy. They're proud of me regardless. I have such a supportive family and brothers, and I love them so much.
So your character is actually one of the siblings, speaking of siblings, that does not have the psychic ability. When you first found that out, were you a little like bummed out?
You know, actually Nia was written to have the psychic ability, so when I auditioned I had it, but I have another show that I do which kind of put me in the position to have to not have it anymore because I was doing these 2 shows in real life, and so they gave it to Booker, which ended up being really cool to see a boy have it and from a different perspective. So originally when I had it, it was obviously super cool, like having, thinking that I was going to be able to do all of that, but I don't know, it didn't really make a change on the character. She's still the same person that she would have been with Visions, and I think it's really cool to see a boy have it too. It's, like I said, a different perspective, and
Right. Well, when you're used to boys telling you, like, what the future may hold,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You've got older brothers, so this is natural for you.
Right. Speaking of the visions really quickly, I know your character does not have them on the show, but if she did, can you give us your best vision face? You know, like when Raven looks in the camera and, the spinning circles. Can you give us your best vision face?
Yes, I can. To that camera?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll do a close-up. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. And the little eyebrow, like, twerk.
It's like
the eyebrow twerk.
The eyebrow twerk.
That's what it is. Wow, you nailed. Did you
That's
practice that a
amazing.
lot before?
No, not really. I mean, they never actually asked, I don't think, for me to do a vision face. What they did ask, though, is for me to do, hi, I'm Navia Robinson. I'm on Raven's Home, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Oh,
And then the wands.
Yeah, they had me do that in the audition, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't prepared for that, so I was thinking, okay, what am I going to say? Because everybody has their little thing where they say, like, oh, nailed it, or something like that, which is what I ended up doing, and I, like, walked off, blew the wand, nailed it, and that was my thing.
You did, what they say? The nail in the coffin? You got the part.
Yeah.
Seal the deal, whatever.
Yeah, seal the deal.
Was being on Disney always a dream of yours?
For sure. That's kind of when I realized I wanted to start acting, seeing people on Disney Channel, because I would recite their monologues and I would show them to my parents. I'd actually have this like big, long roll of paper, like patterned paper. I'd roll it throughout my kitchen and my living room, and then on Saturdays I'd make my parents sit down in the living room and I'd walk this little runway as if I was a model. And then
I love it.
yeah, it was crazy. And then I'd sing a song and then I'd do a monologue from Disney Channel. That was kind of my routine type thing for a while, and then once my parents saw that I kept on doing that, they finally put me into acting classes.
Do you remember any of those monologues that you? Now, I wouldn't ask you to like recite it, but was there one in particular monologue
There
that
was
like really
one. There was one
inspired
from
your
Ant
career?
Farm.
Okay.
One from Ant Farm. I really liked that show. I think it was about stage fright or something, and that was the monologue I did. I don't remember it at all, but that was my favorite one. And I don't know why it was about stage fright, because I don't think I had that.
You don't?
No.
That was going to be a question of mine. So where were you then when you heard you were casted?
I was in the hotel room. It was after a chemistry read, and me and my mom had just gotten dinner. We got back to our hotel room, and we were kind of like just, nervous.
Right.
We didn't know what to anticipate. We were just kind of, wondering, waiting, not really trying to bring it up, just trying to keep it casual. But we were both, I think, just really curious as to what was going on behind the scenes, like what we didn't see, what we didn't hear.
Right.
And we finally got that phone call from my agent. My agent played this little trick on us, Mitchell.
They always do.
They always do that. Oh my gosh.
It's like, why are you trying to be an undercover agent? You're supposed to tell me if I got the part.
Breaks your heart only to give you like the best news of your life.
Exactly. And then Mitchell was like, that's my agent. He was like, okay, well, this is probably not what you expected, which it wasn't.
Yeah.
But you got the part, and I was like, oh my gosh.
So how did you guys celebrate?
You know what? We had already had dinner, so we didn't go out for like a celebration type dinner thing. But really, our form of celebrating was calling my brothers and calling my dad and calling our family members and just telling them the good news, telling them not to tell anyone because it was still kind of under wraps who was casted and everything like that. And it was just, I don't know.
Did you try to trick them?
Did we try to trick them? No. Knowing how that felt?
Yeah, exactly.
No, was not.
No. Be straightforward. Hi, I got the part.
Yeah.
It was the best because, again, you know, you come from a lot of guys in your family, right? All your older brothers. And you said, when you told them, what was like one of the funniest reactions they had? Not a lot of them, but two of my brothers thought I wasn't being serious. They thought it was like a joke. You know, obviously that's kind of our nature, and they thought I was joking around with them, that I was playing them, because actually when I called most of my family members, I started off by saying, hi, I'm Navia Robinson. I'm on Raven's Home and you're watching Disney Channel. That's so cute.
And they thought I was practicing for the audition because at that point they didn't know I had already gone in for the chemistry read or whatever it was. And they were just asking, you know, had I done all my preparations, had I read my lines, had I done this, not knowing that I'd already gotten the part. And I told them, and they, again, some of them thought I was joking. But,
well,
look at So,
what has been one of your favorite memories, you know, since being on the show?
I think it's getting to learn something every day. There's nothing really specific because I do get to have so many amazing memories with my castmates all the time, and that's what it is. You learn, you you develop, and sometimes you figure out that you're doing things wrong. Sometimes you figure out that you're doing things really right, and I don't know. It's just something new and a different adventure every day, and that's probably what's the best thing about what I do is getting to learn and grow. It's like learning on the job. It's cool.
Did you watch That's So Raven to do research, like the original That's So Raven?
I watched a couple episodes on YouTube, but I'd already watched That's So Raven with my older brothers.
Ah,
yeah,
so
I knew.
You were,
I watched reruns on like Saturday nights of all the old 90s, 2000s shows on Disney Channel, like Sweet Life and Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire.
I love Sweet Life.
Montana, That's So Raven. Oh,
90s,
the best.
I'm not going to say we're a better time, but they're rebooting a lot of 90s
They were a good
shows,
time.
everyone.
Girl Meets World.
Yes, exactly.
So I'd watched That's So Raven many times before. I loved it, and not even being biased, but I thought it was like one of the best shows.
Yeah?
It was
really
yeah,
so good.
it was really good, and my brothers loved it too, of course. And my brothers have always had a big impact and inspiration on me and what I do because they're so supportive.
Yeah,
100%. And they're so proud of me, and I'm proud of them, and we just have such a great relationship. Me and
Looking
all
for
my
another
brothers.
sister.
But they're a lot older than you, so do they kind of want to go into acting at all now? Like, do they see like how cool this is and maybe do a total 360 with their lives, or unless they are in acting, I don't know.
Well, my brother Gianni, he is 17 years old, at the time when I was in acting classes, I was like, how old, maybe 7? He thought that he wanted to kind of experiment with the performing arts, so he went to my performing arts school that I was at for a little while, and he did a couple things with them, but then he realized, he thought that it was way too much hard work, and he didn't, yeah, it is, and it just didn't suit him. He's also very kind of laid back too, and not as outgoing as others, but he's like super chill, and it just wasn't his thing. Ultimately, but they all kind of have like a musical thing to them. Like my second oldest brother, he's very into like, he's not a rapper of any kind, but he likes it, and like he can if he wants to, but it's not the path that he's chosen. My oldest brother plays the violin, he plays the guitar. He's very
talented,
musical, he's very talented. And then my brother, who's Gianni, he plays the saxophone, the tenor, and my brother Maximus, who is 15, he plays the clarinet. So they all kind of have like some musical.
You guys gonna make a band?
Yeah, the Robinson band.
If you guys made a band, which would be your position? Would you be the singer?
Oh yeah,
Would you be,
I'd be the singer.
The lead singer.
Yeah, of course, right?
I love it.
That's one thing that you said, you know, you've learned a lot
but that you specifically learned from Raven, because she plays your mom on the show. What have you learned from her?
I've learned that it's okay to bring yourself into your own character, because a lot of times when you think that you have to act or you're playing a character, you think that it's somebody that's completely different to you. Oh my gosh, where'd my voice just go?
Oh, good girl.
Somebody that's completely different to you,
Yeah.
but she taught me that that's not necessarily the case, and what makes a character really authentic and really understandable, even relatable, is putting yourself into that character, and that way you're more realistic and it's more entertaining to watch because your character has layers. So I think I've definitely learned to do that, and obviously I'm still learning, I'm still growing and learning how to do that even more effectively, but that's probably one of the biggest things.
You are well spoken.
I know,
Why,
right?
thank you.
I know. Well, earlier we were talking about one of her projects shooting in London, and she was like, the fashion, what did you say? We were talking about Oxford Circus, and you're like, the fashion, not capital, but something with an M.
Oh my gosh, fashion.
And I was like, I don't even know what that word is.
Yeah, I don't even remember at this
So
point.
well spoken.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Well, we should talk about the project that you shot in London. Tell us a little bit about it, because there's some exciting news possibly coming up, but we'll see you soon with it.
Right.
Yes.
I recognized her actually from that right away. I mean, I don't always watch the Disney Channel, but on Netflix I was like, oh, this is Free Reign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were in that, so you guys recognize her from Netflix.
Yeah. That's really cool. Obviously, it was such a different experience getting to go to a different country. Like, that was so odd to me. I remember first arriving in the UK to film the first season last year, or the year before last, I'm sorry. And it was so, like, British accents. Left side of the road. Like, what are all these? And there's so many little small details that are different. That it's like distinctively UK. You know, like yellow license plates and all the street signs that just look so different to America. And I see that immediately as I've touched down in Manchester, and I'm like, this is so weird. But it was so cool. I learned a lot about British culture. I think if I wanted to play somebody who's British eventually in a movie or a TV show, I could, which is cool. And I got to horse ride, which was amazing. I'd always liked horse riding, and I got to learn from a really awesome family who trains all of the actors on the show.
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
It was great.
Yeah, what's it like working with not only animals but horses? I mean, that's gotta be.
They're beautiful.
They
I love
are,
horses.
yes.
They're very friendly. Very it depends on the horse. They all have kind of their different personalities.
They can be skittish. I mean, they're known to be very skittish. I remember I owned one that was like a blue tarp, and he was like, "Not today," and he like went down. I was like, "Oh, I was not ready for that." Have you had any crazy incidences?
Well, this isn't necessarily crazy because I'd like to say that I'm pretty good with horses, but I was riding a horse once and we were not galloping, oh my gosh, I haven't learned to gallop. We were cantering, actually,
Now that's galloping pretty much, right? The horse is running.
Yeah, the horse is running.
The horse is not,
Yes. So I was cantering, and we were cantering kind of around what would you call it? Like an arena, yes.
Look
arena.
at us go.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull a match after this.
Yeah, we were cantering around the arena, and there was a tree that kind of the leaves overhung, into the arena, and we were just cantering along, and then we ran right into, the leaves of a tree, which was funny, and it wasn't anything crazy. I didn't injure myself. But sometimes what's kind of funny is that your foot will fall out of the stirrup, and then you have to keep on going, like, okay, let me get this thing back in the
There's a lot of
stirrup.
leg strength that people don't realize when you're riding a horse. The horse is not doing all the work. Do not be fooled.
Yeah. I don't know if I would be able to efficiently ride a horse if it wasn't for the fact that I have long legs, because even the trainers told me, like, your long legs really help. Because I'm like, I'm not short for my age, but for riding a horse rather than a pony, I'm kind of short. I'm 5'2". So it's like, it's different, but you have to use a lot of your leg strength. And I really enjoyed it, though. I love riding horses.
And you guys wrapped season 2, right?
Yes, we did. When was that? November.
Okay.
We wrapped season 2.
We're filming, but not out on Netflix.
Right.
Just for all of you now going straight to your Netflix stream. Hold on.
Stay tuned.
Not yet.
Summer 2018.
Okay.
Yes, stay tuned. I got finished with that in November. I went home to Atlanta for a couple of days to see my family, and then I went straight to LA to film Raven's Home for 2 weeks. And then I went back home in December for Christmas and the holiday season for 2 weeks, was that? And then I went back to LA and we started filming Raven's Home again. And oh no, that's not true. I went from Atlanta. I went on a Disney cruise, which was really cool. And then I did a promotional thing with them. We docked from Miami, and then we went to some places in the Bahamas, which was really cool. We went to Cozumel, Mexico.
Oh wow.
Then we got back to Miami. Then we went to LA and started filming again. I missed a step.
I'm like exhausted listening to your schedule.
And you're young, so you have to still be in school.
Yeah, I have an amazing family. That's how I do it, who supports me and who they visit and we visit, and they're just so amazing. And I have my amazing mom who travels with me and helps me through all of this.
Yeah, she's so great.
Amazing.
So sweet,
I love her.
And so do you do homeschooling then?
I do homeschooling. I do homeschooling with a program that's based in LA, which is really convenient. So my teacher from the program comes to set, which is so cool.
Nice,
Yeah,
right.
and a lot of other Disney kids who are on Disney shows are a part of this program. So that's really cool too. It feels like you have classmates in that sense. So I love homeschooling. It's pretty cool. I mean, I think you have to have a certain amount of responsibility piled on you because it's up to you to make sure you're on track, to keep up with your assignments and things like that. You don't have a teacher telling you to do so. So it's different in that sense, but I really like it. It's so much better to do with my acting than regular school would be.
You fall behind, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
But it's funny that you do homeschooling on Raven's Home.
Raven's Home, homeschooling on
Exactly,
Raven's Home, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
Girl,
love it.
You're killing it.
I know.
You're
Good
doing
for
so
you.
well. Good for
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
everything. It's super exciting, and we're so glad that you.
Maybe sleep if you get a chance.
Yeah, right?
Yes, I've been catching up over this hiatus, which is when we have like a week or two off from filming. So I've been catching up on some sleep, on some shopping.
Hey!
I know you don't like shopping, but
Yeah, we should have talked about that. That's funny.
I didn't either, but now I'm like, I have to be in a mood, actually, though.
It requires a very good mood.
But living in LA is like a perfect place to do it. Just,
Yeah.
I think, maybe stay away from Rodeo Drive. Otherwise, we'll get into some trouble.
Yeah.
Some serious trouble over there.
All
Well,
that past week of filming would have just been down the drain.
Yeah.
That check.
But you deserve it. So that's my
You gotta treat
justification.
yourself
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us
Thank you.
here at Sweetie High. And can you let everyone know where they can follow you and keep up with everything on your social medias?
Yeah, you can add me on Snapchat at I am Navia. You can follow me on Instagram at Navia Robinson, which is where I post most frequently. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Navia Z Robinson. Z stands for my middle name, Zuraili, if you're
And
curious.
I just want to touch on your first name. I've never heard anyone else with it. Navia.
Navia.
What does it mean?
Navia means beloved and beautiful.
Well, the name fits. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
All right, girl. Thank you so much. And thank you guys
you.
for joining us on After the Bell. We'll see you for an all-new episode tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye.
Awesome.